Oh, yeah.
It's like steak out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you don't even bank there.
No.
Bill, you're just trying to confuse me.
Usually go down the files and then you open it up on the computer itself.
This will be fine.
He only wants what he wants.
This will be fine.
We'll have training next.
Exactly. I think we need to spend money to send me to training. To be honest with you.
No, it's,
ECA has a lot of free trainings.
That's what you
Well, time.
get on the webinars and,
Almost.
what do you mean, Megan? I know it all.
Some people certainly think they do.
Not here. I'm willing to learn.
At least that is the case with you.
Willing to learn. Never used to be that way.
No, there we go.
What?
I'd like to welcome everybody to our Monday, September 9th, 2024 Cascade City Council meeting. We'll have a call to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Oliphant? Here. Weber? Here. Hush?
here,
Gale?
Here.
Delaney?
Here.
Need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion by Hush,
I'll second.
second by Weber. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 5, public comment. You have a limit of 3 minutes per person, agenda items and local government issues.
McDermott, I'd like to point out that I filed a regulation agenda request and should have been put on the
It is on
agenda.
here.
And I wanted to ask you about something else. Are we going to get any compost this fall? So
We
can-
already got 2 loads a week ago.
Oh, really? I haven't been down there. I haven't been down there.
Yep.
The
Okay.
first time that we got noticed that, I don't know, it was a couple Fridays, maybe 2 Fridays ago, that the
Okay.
guys went with 2 trucks and picked up a double load. I
Okay.
don't know what's there now, but
Thanks much. Some of us really need help in our yards, okay? And I wanted to put that on the agenda because I feel like it should be discussed as a provision of this democracy, you know? And I wrote that ordinance when the previous city administrator spent over her allotment for the pool roofs, to make the pool roofs blue or something. I don't know what color they were before. But I feel that, and you will avoid situations like we had at the beginning of last month if you take better care of democracy, because people expect it. You may not think we have a democracy, but people out here do. And that's what they want. And that gives them a yay or nay, up or down vote. This is a very expensive salary that is doing a lot of things around town. People have a right to feedback to you about that.
Thank you.
just to clarify with the public comment policy, when people have asked for agenda items, we put them on and list them so that it's clear to the public that it's going to be talked about. It still is up to the council if you choose to take a public comment request and make that an agenda item for your agenda. So if the council wishes or the mayor wishes to have a discussion about a city administrator position having a vote of approval every 2 years, then that would be, citizens have the right to make that request, but it's up to the council to put it on as a regular action item.
Number 6, consent agenda, minutes, City Council 8/26/24, September 9th, 2024 claims, and August financial reports. Is there any questions about the consent agenda? Seeing none, I need a motion on the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion on the consent agenda.
Motion by Oliphant,
I'll second.
second by Delaney, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 7, just an FYI, the next city council meeting is September 30th.
which is a fifth Monday instead
The
of a
fifth
fourth
Monday.
Monday. We had approved that a number of months back, so we'll leave it at that date.
I need a motion to open public hearing on the vacation of Buchanan Street Southwest right-of-way.
I'll make a motion to open public hearing.
Motion by Oliphant,
Second.
second by Delaney. Roll call.
Weber?
That was Hush.
Yeah, it was Hush.
Hush.
I can't throw my voice.
Talk louder, Bill.
Or-
Weber?
Aye.
Hush?
Aye.
Gale?
Aye.
Delaney?
Aye.
Oliphant?
Aye.
So, as we have discussed this a couple of times, we discovered as a part of the sale of one of the properties on the east side of Buchanan that there had been not necessarily an error, but at least an unawareness of the fact that there are 3 parcels on Buchanan Street just south of Fifth Avenue that have either believed or just were simply unaware that their front yards are actually owned by the city. So obviously, everybody's front yards are city right-of-way. I think it starts on page 33, maybe? 33, sorry, yep, for the starting of it. So this came up as a title search. If you look on the map, on the property labeled as X, that's the one that was the most emergent because they were, had already scheduled to sell the property to a buyer on that property. And when it was discovered that only from about 2 feet off the house to the west is the front yard that's owned by the property owners, and the next 39 feet, which was assumed to have been their front yard, was actually city property. Going back to the 1940s, the DOT used that as Highway 136. So the DOT purchased additional land from all these front yards to be able to someday expand it. In the 1990s, it was then decided that Highway 136 would go to the west of there where it is currently located. And the DOT transferred that land back to the city of Cascade. At that time, it was retained by the city and no action was taken on these 3 parcels. And so it affects not just the property labeled as X, but also Y and Z. Our policy and state law would provide that when the public owns something, that you cannot give it away for free or for a nominal amount of money that then becomes the benefit of a property owner, of a private person. And so in the proposed ordinance, we have negotiated with the property on the east that they will pay $1,500, which is the one that we know for sure will take ownership of the land. I've been in contact with the property owners on the west side, which is Y and Z labeled on there. Y is trying to do his own research. Z is, I just talked to Attorney Brad Buffelli this afternoon. He wants him to review it, so I've sent all the documents to him and let him know the other 2 attorneys that are involved. So what would happen tonight if the council is willing to proceed is that the approval for the transfer of all 3 will take place, but it will not actually take place unless the quitclaim deeds are executed and the payments are made. So that instead of having to come back and do this again, my suggestion is that we vacate all 3. It just becomes that it's no longer right-of-way. If Y and Z on the west side, if those property owners don't think it's a big issue, I've tried to explain to them it's all good until it's not, which is exactly what's happened with Dorothy's property on the east. Once you go to sell it and it becomes an issue, now all of a sudden you're trying to hurry along. So the negotiated prices on Y, the biggest lot up there, which is a 20-foot deep piece by 90 feet, is $2,000. And then to make it equitable on the property labeled as Z, that's 1/3 of the frontage. So instead of it being 20 by 90, it's 20 by 30. So I took 1/3 of that and made it $660. So it's $1,500 for X, $2,000 for Y, and $660 for Z. And that will be in the ordinance if it's adopted by the council. To try and expedite the process, my suggestion, and I posted the agenda, would be that you would adopt all 3 readings this evening. And that will then allow me to get the ordinance recorded and be able to try and execute the quitclaim. And the one thing that we still need on the X property is the curb stop, which is normally in the right-of-way, which would be city land, is way back further. And so because it's back further, we could be accused of trespassing if we ever need to shut their water off. So Mike Weber is working on a 17 foot deep from what'll be now the new right-of-way line. It'll go into the yard 17 feet, and it'll be 10 feet wide. And that would be an easement that's recorded at the same time as the quitclaim deed giving them the land for this $1,500. To make sure that there's no issues, I've sent all of the documents to Jones County, to the auditor's office, and to the GIS people to make sure that they approved everything, that I don't try to record it and then they come back like, oh, there wasn't something right. So they've approved everything, and then I sent it to attorneys Knuth and Davis, who did the title search, and Dorothy's attorney. And if you look on your desk, there's a copy, should be a copy of a new ordinance that has some yellow highlights on it. And if you look, Carolyn Davis, the attorney that did the title policy, requested that for each legal description, I also add the words, "in the city of Cascade, Jones County, Iowa." So those references, there's 3 different parcels. So in section 1, there's 3 references. I added vacated. In section 3, I added it. And then I added the 3 under the how much we're gonna pay. And then on the back side, we had the mayor and clerk executing the documents. I changed that to myself so that I can try to get this done before Wednesday. So I don't know if there's any questions. Again, hopefully this doesn't leave it hanging out there for someone else to try and bring it back up and figure it out.
Those prices remain in effect forever.
I would say, I don't know, unless you want to put like some sort of a sunset clause, and that you could maybe say, you know, if
By a certain date.
if the quitclaim deed is transferred, we could add that into the ordinance by a certain date, maybe 2 years or something, a year, whatever you want. And then instead of going through the whole vacation process again, you could say that after that date, that any of the property owners that never did it would have to come back to the city for a newly negotiated price. If you feel better about that, that's up to the
I mean,
council.
20 years from now, $600 would be
Yeah.
a different number than it is today.
So if we want to put a sunset, even if you want to put further out, that's fine, we can do that.
Maybe like a
I would think 5 years or something like that would be.
Okay.
Yeah,
appropriate at this
I'm with you
point.
on 5.
So let's add under section 4, letter C, let's add a sentence that says, the above listed prices shall be the agreed upon price until September 10, 2029. If a quitclaim transfer is executed after that date, a buyer must renegotiate the price, the sale price with the city of Cascade. Is that acceptable?
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. The above listed prices shall be the agreed upon price until September 10, 29. If a quitclaim deed transfer is executed after that date, a buyer must renegotiate the sale price with the city of Cascade. And that would go above, right below letter C on section 4. Any other questions?
Okay, if there's no other questions, I need a motion to close public hearing.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Delaney,
Second?
second by Oliphant. Roll call.
Hush.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Delaney.
Aye.
Oliphant.
Aye.
Weber.
Number 10, consideration of ordinance number 21-24, vacating a portion of Buchanan Street Southwest adjacent to 500, 505, and 506 Buchanan Street Southwest.
And again, I would ask the council to consider first making a motion to suspend the rules to have the adoption at 3 separate meetings, and that would take a vote of these 4 of you to approve that.
I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to that effect.
Motion by Oliphant,
Second.
second by Hush. Roll call.
Gale.
Aye.
Delaney.
Aye.
Oliphant.
Aye.
Weber. Hush.
Aye.
So do we need a motion to suspend also then? Or
That is the
was
motion to
that?
suspend. So
Okay.
now, because you suspended it, a motion to adopt ordinance 2124 would be for a one-time reading, so you're adopting it as a final reading this evening if approved.
I need a motion to that effect.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Delaney,
Second?
second by Oliphant. Roll call.
Delaney.
Aye.
Oliphant.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Hush.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye. Number 11, consideration of ordinance number 19-24, fences, heights, fence post, and location from lot line. This is the second and third final reading.
So we talked about this last time. We will send it back to planning and zoning at the request of the council to consider 10 feet, but this would allow 8 feet in 3 of our zones, both manufacturing and then highway commercial. It would also require that any fences that have fence posts at the, what we kind of call the ugly side or the post side would be required to be located on the owner who's putting up the fence's side, and that different than current, you would have to set your fence back 2 feet from the property line. We also discussed to try and execute this before my departure that I would ask the council to consider suspending this 3 separate meeting rules and adopt the second and third reading this evening.
I need a motion to that effect.
Can I make a comment? Al Nepper, 105 Washington Street. As I mentioned last week, I think this is a good ordinance, and a lot of people have put a good amount of work in it. The thing that I'm still concerned about is that there's nothing in here about doing a survey. Good explanations were given last week about the expense of surveys. Obviously, that'd be a burden with, residential people and all this, but we're in commercial, we're in industrial areas, which I think there's a difference. We spent $600 this week to confirm some things on item 13, on the fence that's on city property. I know the adjoining neighbor spent money this week on the fence that's on DeLong, and so here we are spending money after the fact when a fence was put in, instead of requiring a survey prior to that. So that's my concern. Thanks.
Thank you.
So we have a Delaney, oh no, we have no motion, sorry.
Yep, I need a motion to suspend 3 separate meetings.
Make a motion.
Motion by Delaney,
Second?
second by Oliphant. Roll call.
Oliphant?
Aye.
Weber?
Aye.
Hush?
Aye.
Gale?
Aye.
Delaney?
Aye.
I need a motion on ordinance number 19-24. Does anybody want to put that in there about survey or property pins or?
I would think, especially in industrial and Weber, the cost of the fence and Weber, and to mitigate any problems in the future. I mean, it gets to be very costly if we're starting putting fences down and have to reverse and Weber. I would think even a $600 or $800 survey.
It isn't going to be $600 or
Yeah, it's
$800.
not. That's why Lisa says you should know where your property line is.
To verify.
If you don't know, that's when you spend the money. You can't find your pins, then you can spend the money. But she said, you know where your property is. As long as you're inside your property, you should be golden.
I mean, if you take like just that little section of Langworthy that we asked Mike to give us a quote for was $1,200.
Yeah, that's
And that, so then you take a large parcel with a gazillion corners, you're talking thousands of dollars.
I'm pretty comfortable with the ordinance as is.
I wish it was cheaper. It'd certainly be nice. But I would say that maybe kind of throw that back at planning and zoning when they relook at the 10-foot instead of trying to throw it in at the last second when we didn't really talk about it in any.
I think that'd probably be more
Public
their
hearing.
ballpark anyway. It's probably better left to them.
If there's
I'll make
no,
a- Oh, go ahead, sorry, Steve.
nope, go ahead.
I was gonna make a motion on ordinance 19-24.
Motion by Oliphant,
Second.
second by Weber. Roll call.
Weber?
Aye.
Hush?
Aye.
Gale?
Aye.
Delaney?
Aye.
Oliphant?
Aye.
Number 12, consideration of ordinance number 20-24, correction of election terms of office. And this is the second, third, and final reading.
Again, this was kind of our up and down issue where we found that the city had inadvertently, unknowingly changed the city code from 4-year terms for the city council to 2-year terms. We had the Secretary of State from their office in Des Moines indicate that due to the fact that state law would require there to be a referendum to switch that that the ordinance was basically null and void and never really enacted, even though you technically voted on it. So our legal counsel at Lynch Dallas would like the council to still go back and correct this. So if this is adopted this evening, then we'll send it over to our online portal, and then it'll be back online properly.
I'll make a motion.
To suspend the 3 separate meetings. Motion by Delaney,
Second?
second by Oliphant. Roll call.
Hush.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Delaney.
Aye.
Oliphant.
Aye.
Weber.
And I need a motion on ordinance number 20-24.
I'll make a
Motion by
on
Gale,
ordinance 20-24.
second.
I can second it.
Second by Oliphant. Roll call.
Gale.
Aye.
Delaney.
Aye.
Oliphant.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Hush.
Aye.
Number 13, consideration of resolution number 83-24, encroachment of fence on DeLong Street right-of-way between Thomas and Washington Streets.
Real quick, I'm getting text messages saying that they're not able to see the live stream. Just a heads up. I don't know if there's anything that could be done, but
We'll pause to see. I can't see anything.
they're not able to find it.
They got it on YouTube as well.
YouTube?
But not, yeah, not on Facebook or anything.
Oh, I'll send a queued link on Facebook, maybe?
I guess it's possible. They can go to the, it should be on the website. Can you, is Boxcast on?
Yeah, it's working. It's
So if you want to tell people to go to cityofcascade.org.
I'm gonna have seats down here.
And then they click on city government, and then click on city council, and then click on thank you from the back. If you'd like to speak, please come to the podium, sir. We have rules around here. On the city council, it's called council meetings. So maybe I forgot to click to post it to Facebook. That's possible. Sorry.
Thank you. Sorry about that interruption.
Otherwise, you should be.
We'll
able to-
resume our regular broadcasting. Okay, so, so the fence situation. So you had wanted the surveyors. I have not gotten anything official, but I did speak to Dave Schneider, the person that does work for Delaney's. And I spoke to Jason on Friday, and it's about 8 to 8.5. We had kind of thought it was close to 10, perhaps 12. It's a little bit less than that at the 8 to 8.5 foot encroachment. You know, it's up to the council what you're going to do. Of course, this is what I always say about enforcing a rule on one person, that they start looking around and there's fences and sheds all over the place that are on people's right-of-way that are undeveloped right-of-ways. Obviously, we have a bigger issue when it's streets, so. I basically didn't change anything on this resolution except to leave you option 1 and option 2. One would be that the fence is allowed to remain where it is, and that at any time that the road is improved, that would be the expense of them to remove it, and if they don't, that the city would have the right to do so and assess them the cost on their tax bill. And the second one is to direct them to immediately remove the fence.
May I quickly? Al Napper, 105 Washington, Gary Napper, 105 Washington. The good news is I'm losing my voice, so this will be very, very fast. Again, we would ask that the council vote on the simple solution to this, which is to have the fence removed, put where it belongs. I know there's a lot of other discussions about other ways up there, the vacation of other streets, et cetera, et cetera. You know, those can be issues that we can talk about down the road, but I would feel more confident about those discussions if we could act on this particular issue, get it right, and then maybe have some future discussions on street vacation, et cetera, up in that neighborhood. Thanks for listening.
What's everybody think?
I feel that let's do it right. They can put it on his own property. We start allowing this, everybody's gonna do it, then ask for forgiveness afterwards. So, do it right, get it done. I mean, you don't have the fence up yet, so.
Yeah, I'd say this is the opportune time to move the fence to the right side of the line and
So next year, we can put the street all the way down then, and then we don't have to anybody complaining about it.
I just guess I have an issue because I feel like we're cherry picking what ordinances we're gonna enforce and what ones we're not.
Mark?
No comment.
Bill?
Oh, I think option number 2, let's go ahead and get it taken care of now, and I can't see anything good coming out of letting people encroach upon city property, and then sometime in the future, 35 years from now, people are sitting there going, why was that ever done? It's gonna be more costly to move it then, so.
It's gonna cost them more down the road if we have to take it down and re-put it up than if he does do it now, so.
well, that and 20 years down the road, if Delaney's is still there, then it would be their cost. But if Delaney's were to sell and then it goes to someone else's property, and someone else is stuck paying the buck for it to get taken off of there. So I think, and just right now, while it's in the process, I think it's just better, let's just move the fence a few feet, and we don't have, and not to mention, we have obviously neighbors that are upset about it, and people on the other side that are not there too, so. I mean, I think as these things come up, I mean, we'll have to deal with them on an individual basis, but I think any of us go in there to go put up a fence, I think we expect to do it on our own land.
And just make sure that they're aware that we approved the 2-foot setback as well.
If there's nothing else, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Gale,
I'll second.
second by Hush. Roll call.
Hush,
Aye.
Gale,
Aye.
Delaney,
Aye.
Oliphant,
Aye.
Weber.
Number 14, consideration of resolution number 87-24, approval of fall 2024 earthwork and gravel installation for the pickleball courts in Oak Hill subdivision.
So we met with the park board to see what their recommendation was. Terry and Dale are both here if anybody has any questions. So as you know, Mr. Beck is willing to donate the additional 100 feet to the north of our current park property line. That survey is being worked on by Mr. Weber as well. And then, as most of you know, in the construction world, allowing things to settle over a winter period make you have a much higher chance of success in letting that settle. And so the request came in from the pickleball group to be able to excavate and kind of strip off the top deep enough where they would need to get it. That work is being donated along with the rock that would be placed there, so they wouldn't actually be expending money. They're at about half of the money that they need to raise right now, and that would allow them to get that done, kind of complete their fundraising over the rest of the fall and winter in hopes to be able to construct something in the spring or summer of 2025. I think at the park board, they asked about what if they didn't raise all the money. So let's say they got to enough for 3 courts. It would simply mean that there would be another small gravel pad next to it. I don't think that's their goal, to not raise the funds for all 4. But if anybody has any questions, the park board is recommending for the council to approve them being allowed to do this work this fall.
Any questions? If none, I need a motion on resolution number 87-24.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Delaney, second by Oliphant. Roll call.
Gale,
Aye.
Delaney,
Aye.
Oliphant,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Hush.
Aye.
Number 15, consideration of resolution number 88-24, approval to proceed with library furniture order from Pigo not to exceed $195,000.
So we have been meeting with, obviously, FEH regarding this, and then our design committee chose Piggott as our design crew assistant people who will actually do the ordering for us. So the budgeted amount was $195,000. We started off at a number quite a bit higher than that. If you look at the list in their agreement, some of the things have to be ordered now, and some of them can probably wait about another month. But again, to make sure that we're not sitting with a building that we don't have furniture for, because there is quite a lead time. I would request that the council proceed to approve this letter of agreement, and then, and we basically have everything picked out, so there shouldn't be a lot of other decisions to be made, but it would give them a not-to-exceed number, which we are under that right now. So I don't know if there's any questions, otherwise I would recommend approval of this resolution.
I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Oliphant,
I'll second it.
second by Gale. Roll call.
Delaney?
Aye.
Oliphant?
Aye.
Weber?
Aye.
Hush?
Aye.
Gale?
Aye.
Number 16, consideration of resolution number 94-24, direction to proceed with urban renewal plan amendment and TIF tax incentive for BLM rentals at 1714 First Avenue East Strip Mall, commercial development.
So this is a little bit, kind of an extra step that we would not be normally doing. But I've been working with the CDC on this piece of land for a number of months. They have an agreement, the CDC has an agreement on the lot. I don't know if you want to show where it is on the next page, Mike. Maybe turn, no, let's turn the right way. So there's the laundromat, and then the CDC owns the first parcel to the west, and then this would be the parcel that we're talking about after that, and then there would be one more parcel before you get to gravel excavating's extra lot there. So BLM Rentals would like to build a strip mall there. There'll be 3 units, each approximately 1,300 square feet. They have a tenant for one of them, and we're working on what would happen for the second and third units. The things that I've worked on them with, I've informed Macokota Valley so that they know that there's an electric customer out there. Public Works has been informed, and the water and sewer come off the south side on the back by that ditchway. So then there'd be no disruption to First Avenue. So normally what I would, if I was here and just kind of continuing this on, we would start with the attorneys, but because I'm not here, I think that it would make sense for the council to at least give their permission to proceed. That does not mean that you're approving everything in its final form. My recommendation is that we go with a 60% TIF tax rebate for 10 years. And the reason that it's lower than some, like we have some that are as low as 40, and we have some as high as 100%. A couple things. One, because the jobs being created are not from the developer, that I think that we should retain some funds, that if one of the businesses that came in there was asking for some sort of an incentive, although it be smaller, that we would at least have some ability to have TIF capacity. And then, of course, because of the projects that we've approved for TIF funding, like the library, the highway debt, things like that, I think it's important that as you go forward, that you're not approving 100% or that development isn't retaining any city funds to be able to use for public good projects. So I explained to the developer that they understood that this would now be public, and that the direction that you're giving is to proceed with, if you approve that resolution, would be to direct, and I have met with our Dorsey and Whitney TIF attorneys, and they're aware of it. I've given them as much information as I can. The CDC is aware of it, and obviously the developer is as well. So I'd like permission just so that I can pass it off to legal counsel, and then they can deal in the next couple of weeks with whoever's going to take my position, and it probably is about a 90-day process. They'd like to get started sooner than later. The building permit has been applied for. I waited until today to get the actual plans for the building. Those have been forwarded to ECIA. And as I said, the various utilities are aware as well of their need to be able to get ready for hookups.
Is there any questions? If none, I need a motion on resolution number 94-24.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Oliphant,
Second.
second by Delaney. Roll call.
Oliphant?
Aye.
Weber?
Aye.
Hush?
Aye.
Gale?
Aye.
Delaney?
Aye.
Number 17, consideration of resolution number 90-24, facade grant for 206 First Avenue West for Cascade Storage in the amount of $2,906.33.
So I've been working with Cascade Storage LLC, that's also Chad Demmer, his rental business, and he is the owner of the building. The business in there is the Hempstead Salon. They've spent a little bit, at least $100 and some odd thousand on the improvements, but our facade grant is only reimburses you up to 20% of your exterior improvements, so things like windows, doors, exterior lighting, things like that. So after they sent me the first initial information, I asked them to pare that down to exterior things, including the labor. So that total investment on the exterior is the $14,531, the number that the mayor read off, that would then be 20% of that. That comes from the general fund dollars that we approve each year. And so, again, I wanted to make sure we tried to get this executed before I left. And so that check is on the list of bills that you approved earlier. So obviously, if you were not to approve this, we would pull that out. But it is on the list of checks so that I make sure it gets done before I leave if you approve this facade grant.
Is there any questions?
Just a comment, they did a beautiful job, it looks so good.
You go by there when the lights are on at
When it's
night.
blue, it's really neat. Yeah, very neat.
That is good. I need a motion on resolution number 90-24.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Oliphant,
Second.
second by
Weber.
Weber. Roll call.
Weber.
Aye.
Hush.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Delaney.
Aye.
Oliphant.
Aye.
Number 18, consideration of resolution number 91-24, facade grant for 221 First Avenue West for 3B Properties LLC in the amount of $20,000.
So this is a little bit unique. It's still the maximum amount that we give for a facade grant. If you remember, right around the time that I got here, we applied for a catalyst grant from the state, which gave us $100,000 towards the Rob Napper 3B Properties renovation of 221 First Avenue West. In the TIF development agreement, we agreed that we would spend $20,000. Remember that when you get a catalyst grant from the state, you also have to have a city match. So part of our match was a $20,000 facade. However, different than technically having to spend $100 to get 20. In the development agreement, it says once he reaches $20,000 of exterior improvements, he's allowed to ask for this reimbursement. And so I've gone through all the bills. Again, we had a lot more submitted to the state. We had our first draw of the 100 a few months back that he got 60,000 of the 100, and so there was a lot more expenses, but I obviously made sure that there was 20,000 in actual exterior improvements. And so after that review, again, this is also on the list of bills that you approved, so if for some reason it was not approved, we would pull that check, but it is in there. And this, again, different than the first facade grant that you just approved. This actually comes from TIF dollars, and so you'll see a different account number there from the TIF fund.
Any questions? If none, I need a motion on resolution number 91-24.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Delaney,
Second?
second by Oliphant. Roll call.
Hush.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Delaney.
Aye.
Oliphant.
Aye.
Weber.
Number 19, consideration of resolution number 92-24, authorize Monica Raker as city rep for library project.
So the one person that's been kind of through every phase here with me is Monica. And whether we, the council decides tonight to have an interim city administrator, obviously that person is not going to have been heavily involved. This would not give Monica any financial authority, but there's a lot of small day-to-day decisions where either Garling or FEH is calling and asking. We got a simple one today about should the parking lot lines be painted white, to match the existing parking lot. So just having a main person, I think Monica is the appropriate person. She also knows that, I know that in conversations between Megan and Monica, Megan certainly offered to be a person that Monica could contact.
Not that she needs any help, but if you do, I'm happy to help you, Monica.
She can lean on you.
Yes.
Right. And then at whatever time there's city staff back in the clerk and administrator positions, we can certainly have them to be able to lean on, but I still think it would make sense to have someone that's been consistently involved from the beginning. So my recommendation would be for approval of Resolution 92-24 to give Monica that authority.
I need a motion to that effect.
I will make a motion to that effect.
Motion by Oliphant,
Second.
second by Gale. Roll call.
Gale.
Aye.
Delaney.
Aye.
Oliphant.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Hush.
Aye.
Number 20, reports, police chief,
He had to leave.
he had to leave. Library furniture,
You just ordered it. Good job.
that's done.
Yes.
And city administrator.
So first of all, I got a call, I'm sure everybody knows by now, that Two Gingers is being, I believe, leased out, not sold. And unfortunately, the new owner new operator. Did not get to me before the agenda went out, but her request would be that the transfer of the property happens next week, Monday, on whatever that is, the 16th.
16.
I think it transfers on the 15th, actually, but they would like to open prior to the next council meeting. So she will accept, obviously, that she wasn't here to get on the agenda for the approval of the liquor license, if that's what you choose. But in the spirit of trying to help our businesses, I offered that I would at least ask the council if you were willing to get together sooner than that and have a quick 5-minute meeting to approve their liquor license.
That makes sense.
I would think so, just every day of business is
Yep.
an extra bonus. So it has not come through the system yet. My understanding is they were waiting on their dram shop or their liquor insurance, and so she's hoping that that will go through tomorrow. So what I'm looking for is to see if the council could either meet like Wednesday while I'm still here, or you could meet Thursday, Friday. We could do early morning before you guys are off. We only need 3 of you technically. But it would seem to me that that would be a good gesture on our part. She obviously didn't do it on purpose, so. What do you guys think about a time? Are you willing to
Does
do that?
early morning work for everybody? Well, not you.
We can either call in, Chad, or again, as long as 3 or 4 of you are here, it still gets approved, so. Megan, Mark, Bill, are you,
Should be able
what
to
time
make
do
it
you guys
work.
leave? Well, you're the only one that actually leaves town, so what time, Mark? Like, we've done them as early as 7?
5:30?
Ew, no.
I can make it whenever.
7, 7:30, 5 minutes?
7.
Anyone?
Whatever.
Mike?
7:30 probably work good.
Bill?
That's fine.
Megan?
What day?
Wednesday? So I'm here?
Will you be away?
I'm sorry, can we do 7 on Wednesday?
I don't care.
Is
Yeah.
that okay? Thank you.
You can get back home and get
I have to drop
humans
the kitties
loaded.
off at the vet that morning.
Oh, the kitties.
Still be in his jammies.
So 7 a.m. Wednesday, I'll post it tonight before I go home, so it's 24-hour rule. And I will let her know, and even if for some reason it hasn't come through, we'll just have your contingency approval be based on Dram Shop going through.
Yep.
And I will let her know.
Number 21, public comment. You have a limit of 3 minutes per person. Only items on this agenda.
I'd like to refer back to number 12, I think it is, consideration of that ordinance. We never had a real thorough discussion, and I think that having those successive readings allows for that discussion. Lisa, did you ever hear what percentage of other cities have 2-year, I was the one, of course, who discovered it.
You were.
And I'm just curious, what percentage of others, and I couldn't find that any place else. Do you have any idea what percentage of other cities, because the template ended up the way it did with the 2-year, because most cities do it that way. What's most? 75%?
I think it's what the state starts with. I have never heard of cities in Iowa doing that because they only have local elections every other year. So like in Illinois and Wisconsin, when I was there are 2-year terms because there's local elections every year. So you're still going on a 2-year term, but you're still only turning over 3 or 2 of the 5. The problem here, that I would think the number's low, is because if you do that, you have 5 potentially new council members every time there's an election, and that is just.
I don't believe, someone said it takes 2 years to get up to speed. I don't believe it take anybody 2 years to get up to speed.
Well, you still don't understand TIF, Shirley, and we've talked about it multiple times. We're trying to understand TIF and the budget and all
Well,
those things.
I was on council before, really. I mean, if you go to the people
So you should have a
who
better
know
understanding of
this
TIF and the budget and all
and-
those things.
and get an explanation. I mean, I don't want to be an expert in TIF, but if I needed to make decisions on it, I would know. I would, and in 2 weeks. The other thing that worries me about this is that I have seen a kind of movement toward not having three readings for things. And we did this with this one and several other things. And that is undermining our democracy too. I think those three readings are there. Now, there are obvious reasons like Dorothy Eston's house. I mean, that's a very present reason, and I would not quibble with that. It's some of these other things that I'm quibbling with, and three readings allows people to find out about the thing and object to it if they would like. I mean, this is a democratic provision.
I think.
don't just go through the motions, do three readings, unless there's a clear and present reason.
And I think we do, Shirley, like, I never encourage it, but I know that right now, there's nobody working in City Hall until there is. And, like, the
Well,
thing,
right
like, the
now,
2
yeah,
versus
right.
4 years, like, we talked about it at a previous meeting, and a lot of times, we talk about it, like, even the fences, we talked about that prior to it even being in the public hearing, and then it does get reported on in the Pioneer. So I agree with you that in all normal circumstances, we should. The only reason for like the fences and the election is because I don't want to see the ball get dropped, and that then all of a sudden here we are sitting and it still says 2 years.
That's a special case.
Right,
mean,
but
this
otherwise, I
isn't-
agree, we shouldn't do it.
happen but I have noticed that it's increasingly dispensing with 1 or 2 of the readings. And I think it's problematic.
Thank you. Number 22, I need a motion to adjourn into closed session.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Delaney, second by Oliphant. Roll call.
Gale,
Aye.
Delaney,
Aye.
Oliphant,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Hush.
Aye.
We are in closed session.
Your box casting.
I got it.